Joining water pipe for either PEX or CPVC, say hypothetically you had this pipe here and you had a fitting like the fitting like so, and the fitting goes on here, and then it pushes up here, and it makes a good connection. So once you've got a good connection, at this point you may wonder, well, I've got the pipe on, but then for some reason one may have to decide they may have to remove it and try to salvage the fitting, because these fittings are quite expensive. They're $5 to $10 a piece, and some of them can even go on up. And that doesn't sound like much, but when you start to buy a large quantity, it can get expensive very fast. So basically, if you need to take one of these fittings off, you've pushed one of these push fittings on, and we're just, for all intents and purposes, my opinion, just using push fittings. Now, there are certain manufacturers and they have different brand names, so there's different manufacturers. I think on these, I'm not certain on that, but notwithstanding, say if you get this on and you need to pull it off, they make a little tool that looks something like this. It's just a little simple kind of a plastic piece that looks kind of like a horseshoe. And do keep in mind, if you're removing 1/2 inch pipe, you're going to need a 1/2 inch removal tool. If you're using 3/4 inch pipe, you're going to need a 3/4 inch removal tool, and scale that up accordingly. But just simply take your tool, and it's nothing fancy, but one side has a flat side and the other side has kind of a beveled side. It seems to me the way to do this is to put the flat side this way, and then when you do this, then you draw it up. And what you do is you draw it up and you start to push this as one can note, this little part right here, this will push in, or if we come to this end, this part here will push in, this pulls this. So if you hold this with one hand, hold the pipe with one hand, and pull usually with these two fingers here, your index finger and your other finger, and just pull this way. Now, one little trick that I've found that works well with me, if I spray the pipe with water, it seems to make the fitting go on, because once you push this fitting on, it needs to go till it bottoms out in the right spot. And another key is when you cut this copper pipe here, I mean not copper, but PEX pipe, if this is PEX pipe, make sure the end is cut straight, not cockeyed, because if it's cockeyed, it may leak, and people say, oh, well, those fittings, they're no good, they leak. Well, be sure, my opinion is these fittings are very good, but they have to be installed properly, and if not installed properly, yes, there is an element where they may leak. So, but if you push the fitting on, it's pushed on, and then if you want to remove it, you pull this back, and what happens is when you pull this back, you're actually pushing that in, I think. And so I'm not certain on that. The plumbing gurus can add. And then when you push this back and you hold this pipe with one hand, and then you pull this in this direction here, then it will actually cause this to go in, and then it should hopefully slide off. Now, they can be stubborn. There are times when they get very stubborn. There are times when they simply almost will not come off. If they get to that point, sometimes it's not in defeat to just say, well, and just cut the entire fitting out and start over. So there are times where you just have to take extenuating circumstances or extreme measures if it won't, because if it gets too bad, my opinion is it's not even worth fighting. But oftentimes they will come off. So just take this fitting here, pull it this direction, pushes that end, and then this will slide off. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.